During this class, we are going to handle the authentication exceptions. The authentication exceptions are thrown when some user is trying to access any specific route or perform any specific action without being correctly validated or authenticated in the system. Currently, we don't have any kind of requirement for user authentication, but of course in the future classes we are going to implement the security layer to allow access only for some authenticated users. So now we are going to implement the way to return using a JSON format the responses when a user is not correctly authenticated to perform any specific action. So for that, again, if we check our code in the parent render, we can see that the authentication exceptions automatically call the unauthenticated method. So if we check the unauthenticated method, it is basically returning a JSON response only when the client specifically requests a JSON, and in other case it returning a redirection. Now we are not going to do that. We are going to return a JSON response every time. So we just need basically to copy this. The message is going to be unauthenticated. And the status code is going to be 401. This is all what we need. Now remember that we don't want to depend directly from the render method of the parent handler. So what we are going to do is basically listen for the authentication exceptions directly. Let me copy this, paste it here, and we are going to use the authentication exceptions. Please import the definition in case that it is not already there, and we are going to call the unauthenticated method, sending in this case the request and later the exception, differently of the convert validation exception to response that receives first the exception and then the request. So after this, we are completely ready to handle the authentication exceptions in our system. See you in the next class.